So our topic for today is going to be centered around liquidity. So what is liquidity? Like this session is going to be short because I'm just going to talk about liquidity. Maybe not even much chart examples. On Saturday, we are going to have an intense session because I have something to really do now, and that's why I wanted the session to be a bit late. But I decided to hold the session before I have to do anything else so that I can have the rest of the day just in case I don't meet up because I might decide to do some other things first and I might not meet up for the session. So I decided to hold it first. So it's going to be short. I don't have much time, but on Saturday, we are going to go very deep into it. So let's just talk about liquidity briefly. So liquidity is simply areas in the market where money rests, right? Money, dollars. Yeah. So that's where money rests in the market. So as we all know, as we all know, um, the market thrives on liquidity. And we have two types of liquidity. We have the buy side liquidity and we have the sell side liquidity. What's a buy side liquidity? A buy side liquidity are liquidities found above highs. All right? Highs or series of highs, maybe something like this. All of these are buy side liquidity. Right? Then we have the sell side liquidity found below lows or series of lows, maybe something like this. All of these are buy side liquidities. I mean, sell side liquidities, sorry. Sell side liquidities. Also, this is a buy side liquidity above the high and a sell side liquidity below the low, right? So that is what liquidity is. So these are areas in the market where money rests and the market moves from liquidity to liquidity, from buy side to sell side to buy side and sell side and buy side. Market just keeps taking liquidities and moving. If the market takes a buy side liquidity, it goes back and take more sell side liquidity and continues moving. So let us look at it in this way. Liquidity is like fuel, right? It's fuel for the market. So liquidity is fuel. So imagine when you're on a trip, right? And you're driving, your goal is to get to somewhere here. Your goal is to get to like here. But for you to get here, you have to always refuel your car. So when price is going higher, at some point it has to come back, grab some liquidities, continue higher, grab some liquidity and continue higher, right? Till it gets to its final destination. That's what, so liquidity controls the market. The market direction is based on liquidity. So wherever liquidity sits is where the market moves. If we have buy side liquidities that the market needs to grab, the market will definitely go higher to grab them. If we have sell side liquidities the market needs to grab, the market will definitely go lower to grab them. So for me, I grouped liquidities into two categories. I don't know about other people, but this is just my own observation. From my own observation, I group liquidities into two categories. Now, these two categories are target liquidity and inducement liquidity. These are my two categories of of liquidities. We have the target liquidities, we have inducement liquidities. So what are these two? I don't know if anybody else look at liquidity this way. This is just my own theory. I group them into two. So we have target liquidity and inducement liquidity. So our target liquidity is simply where you want to see price go. The liquidity price needs to go get to grab. Liquidity price needs to grab before changing direction. So let's say, so target liquidity, I have these examples. So for target liquidity, these are my target liquidities: swing high or swing low. So swing high. So I have swing high or swing low. I have range high. That's when price is in a range. The range high, liquidity sits above, and also the range low, liquidity sits above. We also have equal highs. These are for target liquidity, equal lows, liquidity. Then we have compression, liquidity, and we have also compression, liquidity. So these are the liquidities I look out for targets. So when you're taking a buy, these are the kind of liquidities you should be looking for targets. The ones you're going to see play out mostly are range high, range low, swing high, swing low, and also this one. The equal highs don't really show up that much, but like once a while, they don't really show up too much. So these are the ones you mostly the compression liquidity is always there. So these are the kind of liquidities you use for your targets. As when you're taking a trade, they should be the kind of liquidity you will be looking for to target. So after you've had your structure, your liquidity for entry, and where you want to target, you use the target liquidities. So the second liquidity I look out for is the inducement liquidity. Now, this inducement liquidity is the type of liquidity that I use for entry, right? Inducement liquidity, what do you call induce? What do you mean when something is induced? Let's check Google for the word induced. Induced. Yeah, let's see induced. Now, as you can see, the word induce simply means leading someone to do something or persuading someone, right? Persuading someone, leading someone to do something. So that's what inducement is, right? The market is going to persuade people, like trap people. So that's what an inducement is. So that is a kind of liquidity you use before entry, right? So these inducement liquidities, I have three types of them. Now, this is my first and the one that plays out most of the time is this one. Price give you a structure break, pulls back to first pullback. This is an inducement. Price what pulls back to lead people to buy in here, only for price to come back, take everyone who bought here out, and then do the main move. This is an inducement liquidity. Example of inducement liquidity is this, right? Next example of an inducement liquidity is this. This type, whereby price give you a break of structure, and this is the liquidity sitting here. Then price grabs liquidity and moves, right? Now, the difference between these two is this one after the break, which is most common. This one before the break, right? Price induced before the break, right? This one is a more like a form of trap to make people believe that, oh, I can take the entry from here, right? This is more like a trap to make people believe that they can enter from here, only for price to take them out. While this one traps people in a way that, I break, price breaks, then people kind of, price pulls back first and people enter from that pullback. The first pullback actually the trap. People enter from that pullback, then price goes, making them believe that they are on the right track, only for price to take them out and move, trapping everyone in. And then only those who bought below would be in, right? The second one is whereby price does this, giving some people the impression that you can buy here and keep your stop below here, only for price to take you out and move again, right? So these are the kind of tricks the market plays because before the market gives any entries, there must be tricks. So the next one is this. Let's say price give you a break of structure like this. Then after giving you your break of structure, price comes like this. Now, this is a kind of liquidity whereby price is inducing early buyers, right? Whereby some people will feel like causing panic for people to feel like they're about to miss. everyone is jumping. Maybe price even give a break of structure here and everyone is beginning to buy, only for it to come back, take everyone out. This low becomes liquidity, then price flies. So these are the three types of liquidity inducement price uses. The first one is the main type that shows up all the time. Right, so these are the ways I look at liquidity: target liquidity, inducement liquidity. Inducement liquidity shows up before you enter. You have to see that before you enter. Target liquidity is where you target after you are in. The place you look out for as your target is your target liquidity. So that is all I'll be saying today about liquidity. We're just going to have a brief class because I also have low battery on my laptop. I have 26%. So we might not have a long class, but we're definitely going to do a lot of examples on Saturday. So a lot of you guys already know inducement liquidity, because when I was teaching on the free class, I would just, I don't want to go too in depth. So I was just giving the like teaching the main thing that works out more, which is the inducement liquidity, is the kind of liquidity. I mean, the first pullback liquidity is the type of liquidity. No. Inducement liquidity is based off the time frame you have your entry model on. That's where you need to see your inducement liquidity. In some cases, in some cases it's on the same time frame as the target liquidity. In some cases, it's not. In some cases, it's not. Some cases it's on the same time frame. In some cases, it's not on the same time frame. So it just depends on where you are looking at the moment. So in some cases, it might be on the same exact time frame as your target liquidity. In some cases, it might not be there. So just as I took this trade this morning, this setup, and analyzed this morning, this was my target liquidity, was this compression. The compression was my target liquidity, and they were on the same time frame. Target liquidity and inducement were all on the same time frame. So this was my target, the compression, and then my entry was based off of this, a break of structure, liquidity inducement, and this. But I later found out the reason price hit my stop loss on this, even though I didn't take the trade, but price decided to use the 5-minute support for reasons unknown to me. And I didn't look at the 5 minutes doing this analysis. I only look at 3 minutes because the 3 minutes was very clean. So I looked at the 3 minutes and I decided to take the entry just from here, the stop loss below the support. So in case price decides to use the support, yeah, I could have some room, but price came all the way to the 5-minute support, which is also fine. Yeah, so this is then target liquidity was the compression. So the setup is just perfect. Price played out regardless. So this was just it. So this is just a brief class. So from Saturday, we are going to have an intense class about liquidity, but it's not necessarily the inducement liquidity and target liquidity doesn't necessarily have to be on the same time frame. Sometimes, yes, they are on the same time frame, possible. Sometimes it does, but not all the time, right? Yeah, you have to be very flexible to understand, like, if you have your target liquidity right already and you want to take entry, if you are seeing your current entry. Okay, let me give you an example. Which trade will I use for this example? I think I need to go to the 15 minutes, see the example properly. Okay. Okay, let me use this trade as my example. Right? Let me use this trade as my example. So right here, we have our target liquidity, which is this trend line. Right here, this trend line here is target liquidity. Right? That was the target liquidity. So in this case, our analysis started from the 30 minutes, right? 30 minutes is where the analysis started from. So from the 30-minute time frame, our inducement wasn't on this time frame. Let's say if we are analyzing on the 30-minute time frame, the target liquidity was very clean here, but the inducement wasn't here, right? But when you switch to the 15-minute time frame, When you switch to the 15-minute time frame, yeah. When you switch to the 15-minute time frame, you can see the inducement on this setup. Now, if your focus is just here, right? If your focus is just here, you can literally see how clean the setup is, right? And your mind might not go to the fact that right behind you, there's a whole trend line liquidity to get taken out, a whole compression to get taken out till you are in. But because you already know that you've analyzed on the 30-minute and you know that, okay, I'm taking this sell with the intention of taking out these liquidities. So you're already going to go in from here. So we're going to have this class continued on Saturday so you guys can understand the inducement properly. So just try and backtest. I'll send out the video. The PC is low and I have other things to do today. So on Saturday, we'll try to have at least 2 sessions on Saturday talking about this, right? All right, let me end this session. I'm going to end this session.
All right, thank you.
All right, bro.